Hi, I'm Brian Adams. There are many different factors in making a ventriloquist character. If he's small or big, obviously if he's smaller, then the size of the character is cheaper to build. The bigger the character becomes, the more expensive the character gets. I've had many different people ask on how much it costs to make this particular character, and it's basically up to you on how big you make him and what you do as far as material wise. Mine has probably cost more than the average because he is in the, I think it's 42 inches long. I have to go back and check again. It's in one of the videos. What do we do with the hair? There are many different wigs you can buy. That becomes an issue. If you buy a wig, then what you're looking at is there's dust. You have to comb it all the time. Is your hair straight? I have enough trouble with my hair alone. So in this video here, it shows you a little bit of an idea of what my results were for the hair issue. Let's take a look at the latest on the operation of Oliver. Had the PC7, it's holding that wall in. This is the screw that was lining me up to show me that it was straight. I'm taking that out, and that's the nut. And here's the other part, and we're going to put some more epoxy in there. But let me show you what that looks like when those two go together. The two parts, you can see the leg can move to this side or the other side. And there's the knee. The leg so far. There's the top part that gets screwed in. There's where the knees are. There's where the ankles are. What I'm actually working with today is here with the ankle, lining them up with the feet and sanding that down where I want them to be. And you can see we're working on the top part of the legs over there, been epoxied over here. As you can see, we're working with the lower legs, getting that ankle area done. And now we're going to try something a little different. We're going to see about putting hair on Oliver, taking a piece of paper and cut it in the shape, cut out those little slots there so that way it can bend. And we're going to set this on top of his head, but we're going to get it wet. Okay, so we've now gotten that wet, put that paper on. We've got the sideburns here. We're going to do this part and get it wet. And we put some layers of paper on top that were wet. I'll show you this because I'm moving along rather fast. Here's the back part of the wet paper. You can see the little cuts that I made so the paper could fold. You can see the sides here. I put it up around the ears. Here's the other side. And we just have to fill in the top part and then get some glue on there. Okay, so now that you got everything covered and it's still a little wet, if anything starts to uplift, get it slightly damp to hold on. Now we're going to just put a real thin layer of wood glue over the whole thing. Okay, so now you can see we have the layer of glue on it. Now we're waiting for his hair to dry. Give it about 4 hours. So what I do is I take these paper clips and I basically take a tool like this and I will bend it out. This would come down where the sideburn is, and then his ear is right in here, and this is the shape to go over. And then I would put that against the head and kind of bend this a little bit more to get the shape. Here you can see the epoxy been built up to make it look like hair on the sideburn here. And it is over the paper clip that I flattened out and shaped. And here's the other side. And the paper clip only goes up to right about there. You can see the end of it over there on the right side of the screen. And there you go. Here's the back part of paper clip was put on the back. You can see that little ledge on the bottom of the hairline, and that's where the paper clip is under the epoxy. And then of course we taken watercolor paper and taped it in place. I've actually used crazy glue to hold the paper down, and we'll go from here. We've taken off most of the tape now, except for a couple places there. We didn't want to ruin anything. It was just glued down, or crazy glued down. Then what we've done is put fiberglass resin into the areas to hold the paper there, and then that piece of tape there holding that part because it decided to come away. So now here's all the paper that had been added for his hair. We might give it one more coat of glass and we're ready to start the epoxy. And then to come back, and I put little parts right there in the hair you saw. This is for his style of a hair, and a little part right there. And then I fiberglassed it one final time, and I'm ready to move on with the epoxy and start coating. For now, we put the epoxy over the front and the back, and we're ready to now start putting layers on. I'm going to kind of show you the texture here. Here's the hair texture that I'm putting on. This is the PC7 being added onto the side and the back lower half. We're going to let that dry and then add from there. You can see the side of him. Alright, we've added a little bit more texture on the front and on the sides of the hair, mixing in with the back of the head. And we've come to the part here. And we're going to let that dry now. We've got a little bit more hair filled in, and we're working with the front of it now that I brought out a little bit more. Okay, so now what we've done is we've taken his hair off. This is his hair piece. Now that I've finished with it, put all the texture I wanted, I'm going to put some fiberglass resin, a thin coat of it, on the inside of the hair. Okay, there we go. All glassed on the inside. Letting that dry now. Okay, so here's the end result of Oliver's hair. You can see now that it's been fiberglass, it's been set back on. It's a little tricky to get on, but there it is, and I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. You can see all the different textures I put into it. Took a little bit of working with it, trying to get it to shape so it worked with his head, but yeah, I would say I'm pretty happy with it, and I think he is too. Hope you liked the video today. Hope you found it educational. If you like and subscribe, don't forget to like. If you liked it, let me know, and subscribe, and you'll see further videos of the operation of Oliver and other videos that I'm going to be doing on other caricatures and things that I'm making. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Don't forget to check me out on my other mediums, Facebook and so on. If you go to my YouTube page, it's right there where it shows the picture of me, and then it has the little icons, and you can click on those and we'll take you directly to that location. We'll see you next time. So long.